Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. That person is not me. I will not be soliciting you for anything. Do not be scammed. Now, with that said, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Leo, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. Fantastic. And now let's see what your chakra energy will be for this time. Leo, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading, and show me clearly. Okay, perfect. We have 3 there. And they just flew out, which I love. We're starting here with visualization, which is the third eye chakra. And then we're moving to family, the root chakra. And finally, relationships, which is the sacral chakra. All right, now the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. We have the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Wands, which is you coming through as a knight, as a defender. So that's beautiful. We have the Three of Swords. And we have the Knight of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We have the Seven of Coins, or the Six of Coins, the Page of Coins, which is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the Strength card, so you're coming through right at your heart, and the Nine of Swords. Oh, interesting. Then we have the Queen of Coins, earth sign energy, once again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the Eight of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Swords. So let's see if we can move this just a bit for you guys to try and get this glare under control. Sorry, just bear with me for a moment. Hope that's a little bit better. Okay. And now let's see the people you need to be mindful of during this time. The energy, the people, yeah, it's going to go kind of hand in hand. What is the energy that Leo needs to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. What is the energy that Leo needs to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay. I love it. Everything's just kind of popping out. And we could hear it with the singing bowl. It's like things go smoothly, and then there's going to be like this intensity that comes forward, like the way the singing bowl skipped. So that's going to be this time for you. It's like things are going smoothly, and then all of a sudden you're hit by something, and you're looking at it, and it's within the mind, but it's also within the way that you're moving forward and what it is that you're seeing for yourself. There's power here as you embrace what it is that you want, but there's also in each place you have the Ten of Swords, you have the Nine of Swords, and you have the Eight of Swords. There's the sense of ensnarement. There's the sense of like you get so far and then you're like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on here? This isn't what I signed up for. So do be mindful of that. So you have Justice coming through. This is Libra energy, September 23rd to October 22nd. But this is a person who's absolutely focused on things being just, almost to the point of it being ridiculous. It's like everything has to be fair. And, you know, there's this Kurt Vonnegut book where it's like everything in the world has to be fair, but you can't rise people up and have everything be fair. So everybody has to be brought down. And it's just so interesting that way to think about it. So you're going to meet with somebody during this time. You're going to run in with this person who's like, everything has to be fair and it has to be just like this. And you're actually going to feel like they're lowering you. They're bringing you to your knees in a way. And then it brings you to the Princess of Cups. This is a water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, but because we're focusing on energy here, this doesn't have to be just a Libra, and this doesn't have to be just a water sign energy. This is going to be somebody who's very into gossip, is very into like, did you hear, can you believe this? And is emotionally a little bit manipulative, especially during this time. They might not even mean to be, but there's a sense of them kind of hurting, they're going through things, and there's an intensity here that needs to be seen. And they're going to try and pull out from you kind of your weaknesses, your strengths, what it is that you desire. And their sentiment is going to be, well, you can trust me. You can trust me, I've been there. You can trust me, I understand. And the fact of the matter is, you can't. Do not trust this person, because there's going to be a sense of nothing really being sacred with them. They're going to be just kind of like taking up the drama. And then finally, we have the Prince of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody who's astoundingly practical, almost to the detriment of themselves. They're going to sit there and want a huge plan, want a huge way for things to move forward. They're going to sit there and look at things and be like, everything has to be regimented. Everything has to be, just a certain way. And if it's not, it becomes overwhelming. It becomes, upsetting. And you're going to sit there and really want them to see differently. You're going to want them to look at things and be like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you on this high horse, sitting on this horse saying, this is the way it has to be. You have to follow me like this. And you're going to be in your life saying, no, I don't want it. I'm not going that way. And I have to move forward in the way that's right for me. So there's a bit of you going against convention during this time. Now we start off with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is feeling trapped, feeling overwhelmed. It's like you can't move forward, even if you wanted to. But the beauty of the Ten of Swords is that it's the darkness before the dawn. It's all the lessons learned. It's all the knowledge gathered. And you sit in this knowledge. You embrace this knowledge. Think of it as kind of a meditative period. And you say, this is my truth. This is what I've been through. This is who I am. I might feel overwhelmed. I might not know how I'm moving forward, but I am embracing me. And I do realize that I completely forgot your chakra energy during this time. So it's visualization, it's the third eye chakra, family and relationships, root chakra, sacral chakra. So what I see is why Spirit had me move straight into the tarot is because we have the Ten of Swords coming forward. And the Ten of Swords is going to be so prevalent for you within your chakra development. So it's within the third eye. It's looking at things and it's visualizing. It's not just seeing the hurts and the pains and the disappointments that you've been through. Because we're kind of preconditioned to see that, not kind of, we are preconditioned as human beings to see the bad much more readily than we see the good. So the visualization of what it is that I want, where it is that I'm heading is so important. Even though we can roll our eyes and say, oh, what does visualization have to do with it? It has everything to do with it. We were taught it was the secret. It is part of the secret. But the other part of the secret is the fact that it's not just hoping and wishing. It's also doing. Because when we visualize, and this is the really cool thing about the mind, is that our mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality, which is awesome and also scary, right? So here, when we're visualizing things, when we're looking at things, we need to see ourselves there first. We need to see ourselves able to move forward. And if you're visualizing, you might have something in the back of your mind being like, but I'm scared, but I'm overwhelmed, but I don't know how to do this, but I can't take on any more at this time. And we have to look at that side of ourselves and sit in that energy and understand it and meditate upon it and, have a conversation. Well, why am I afraid? Why could I want something so badly? And yet also know that it's not the right time for me. Visualization helps us work through so many blockages within our minds, whether we do it alone, whether we journal, whether we do it with a professional or a friend. This is a time where we're really looking at our paths forward because we're building our roots. The root chakra comes forward and it says, this is my rooted self. This is what I was raised knowing. This is what I was raised believing. And sometimes those are the swords within your back. Those are the doubts, the fears, the angers, the upsets, the upheavals. And it's one of the things that we are working through as we are adults, as we move forward in our lives. And so here, again, it's sitting in that energy. It's looking at what has held me back, what hurts and pains have been inherited, come down the family line that I might not even know of. I might have thought that this was something detrimental to me, but it didn't add. It made me overly cautious. It made me think that, we just never get ahead. It made me really have a negative opinion about money or my ability to earn money. And so here with the root chakra, it's looking at our roots and it's looking at where the pain comes from within our roots, but also embracing that beauty, embracing the joy that is rooted within us too. So it's really looking at things rather honestly, instead of saying, oh, it's all one thing or it's all the other. It's looking at the balance. It's looking at the greater understanding and building with the sacral chakra, a sense of strong relationships, not only with others, but with ourselves. So this is a sense of, with the sacral chakra, this is where a lot of our negativity from this life and past lives are held. And again, if we sit in that energy and we sit there and we say, this is all I have, it is all we build off of. And it's too easy to do that. It's too easy to subconsciously say, it has been such a hard road and it's never going to become easier. But here, with the relationships, with the understanding of self, with the, looking at past hurts from past lives and just our past, from our DNA line, from our generational curses. Those are the negativities that were spoken over your parents, that were spoken over you, that were spoken over, your guardians, your caretakers, and they become part of your truth. And here you're healing yourself in a profound and beautiful way because you're building that relationship with you. You're building that trust within you. You're building that power within you that will help you step forward into the power, into the truth, into the extraordinary of yourself. So it's looking at relationships and it's kind of saying, how can I have strong relationships with others if I cannot have a strong relationship with myself? And I know some people sit there and they argue and they say, you don't have to be perfectly in order to find love, to have meaningful relationships. Well, of course you don't have to be perfectly in order. That's absurd. But you do have to be strong within yourself, where you stand, why you stand there, what it is that you want. And be able to say, it's not me becoming we, but it's a tag team. It's sitting there and saying, I can be just as strong as my partner can be, as my friends can be. So when things get overwhelming, as my family can be. So when things get overwhelming and the person's like, I can't handle anymore, we can come in there and say, but I can. It's now my turn to step up to the gate. And this is what the hardships, the pains, the disappointments have taught us. And yes, we want everything on our time. Everything should be when we want it, exactly where we want it, delivered to our door instantaneously. And that's what the world moves towards. That's what we've become very, that's what we expect. But that's not how life works. The things that we learn, the things that sculpt us, that shape us, that, move us forward, they're hard and well fought for. So with the 10 of Swords, this is the knowledge. This is the wealth that was put into you. It's painful. It's hurtful. It's like swords, there we go, stabbing you in the back. I'm getting too excited here. But it's a wealth of knowledge. Remember, in medieval times and before that, swords changed lives. They did. They took lives, absolutely. But if you owned a sword, if you were given a sword by a king, by a noble, that changed your status within the world. And to think of something so simple, or, so not simple, but unthought of these days, being so powerful is extraordinary. And that's the knowledge. You wouldn't have somebody filled with 10 swords and that just left there. That would never happen because those swords were worth too much money. They would be scavenged. To have that knowledge within you is to have a wealth as a part of you. And it brings you to the Knight of Wands. It brings you to this place of being a warrior, being a fighter, sitting there and saying, this is what I want, this is what I desire within my life, and this is how I'm moving forward. There's nothing more that I can do than be me. And as I am being the best version of me, it's not being, it's not saying woe is me. It's saying this is who I am. These are my talents, even though at times we question our talents. We sit there and say, oh, it's not a big deal. Everybody can do this. We don't realize that everybody can't do it. We look at our power and our truth, our purpose, our dedication, and we move forward in it. We move forward towards something more. And as we embrace something more, it becomes a part of us. It becomes a part of our souls, a part of ourselves. This is the reason we get out of bed in the morning. And for some of us, that has been tested lately. It has been tested with, why do I get out of bed in the morning? What do I move towards? What is it that I want? The Knight of Wands is our passion. It is our fire. It is what we fight for within our lives. And sometimes, yes, that gets tested. We don't know why we're moving forward. We don't see what we're moving towards. This is that connection again to what your heart calls for, to what gets to be a part of yourself. And sometimes you don't want to do it. You just have to do it. You just have to start embracing that thing that makes your heart happy, that makes you feel a part of something so much bigger. And it brings you to the Three of Swords. It brings you to face with the demons that have held you back, with the heartbreaks, the pains, and the disappointments, the angers, the upsets, the upheavals, the scars that run so deep that you look at them and you just feel devastated, the scars that are so overwhelming that you don't know how you will move forward. These are the scars that, if we rise from them, make us into completely different people. These are the scars that, if we learn from them, change us into gold. That is what I firmly believe when we look at alchemy, right? And it's the art of trying to turn lead into gold. This is how we turn lead into gold. We put people under tremendous pressure. That's what life does. I love the quote by Katharine Hepburn, and she says, living is the hardest thing you'll ever do. After all, it kills you. And that's so profoundly true. And so here, there are the scars. There are the hurts. There are the pains. And this is what we look at. This is how we define ourselves in our heads. Oh, well, I'm not good because this person said so, and I'm not good because I had this failure, and I'm overwhelmed here, and I'm denying my power here, and I can't. But the power is that you can. You can. You name this hurt. And to name this hurt is to embrace the pain, is to look at it and say, I see you. I see you for who you are. But what's more important is I see me for who I am. And I name you. To name a hurt is to take power over it. To name a hurt is to look at it. Is it the face of your father? Is it the face of your mother? Is it the face of teachers at school? Is it the face of an ex? Where does this hurt come from? The Three of Swords is naming the hurt and saying, you don't get to rule my life. You ruined enough. You don't get to keep on ruining things. Because you know what? It doesn't hurt that person at all. It just doesn't. They sit there and they go, what's wrong? I told you what it was. This had to happen. Grow up. And you're looking at them and you're like, you devastated me. What gave you the right? We're giving them the right by staying in that hurt. The greatest revenge is success. And success is to have a happy life. And that moves us to the Knight of Cups. That moves us to being the heroes of our hearts. And that's what you're called to do during this time, Leo. No small order, right? You're called to be the hero of your heart, to move forward in your passion. You have double knights right here. The repeat of the knights. You are called to be a warrior within your internal self. And you might sit there and say, I'm done fighting battles. I'm done being a warrior. It doesn't mean that you have to fight in order to be a warrior of who it is that you are. It means that you have to stand in what you love, in what you desire, and say, this is me. To be authentically ourselves, to be holistically ourselves, is something extraordinary. And so here, you're embracing your heart, your soul, yourself. If you come from a place of kindness, if you come from a place of respect, then this is an empowerment. Now you might say people don't understand. They seldom do. But this gets to be you. You will meet with opposition. To live your truth always brings opposition. Trust. Trust as you move forward. Trust as you meet the Leviathan. Trust as you sail through the rocky waters. That the water will quench you, not drain you. It brings you to the Six of Coins. The Six of Coins, within your heart, you need things to be balanced. Okay? Within your emotions, you need the scales to be balanced. This is my Minor Arcana Justice card. So here, when you're looking at things, you need to be discerning. There are going to be people who want and want and want and want and want. That's awesome. People always want. If you give, and if you're a nice person and you're caring and you're compassionate, and you say, my heart is open, they'll criticize and they'll want more. They'll keep on pushing till they can get everything. And when you're drained like a stone, they'll say you just didn't give enough. Is that fair? We see it at work. We see it at home. We see it all the time. If you put all the burdens on your shoulders and say, I got this, until you crack, until you fall, until you stumble, they'll let you. Everybody will let you. Here it is saying, I get to embrace my power. I get to say enough is enough. Everybody has to start, pitching in, doing their share. And it brings us to declaring that I need balance within my life. For my prosperity, for what I value as much as money, things need to be balanced. So instead of saying, oh, it's okay, I'll handle it. Oh, it's okay, I'll take it on. It's like, no, you can do it. You can balance it. It's not shoving everything off on another person, but it's saying things get to be fair. And it brings you then to the Page of Coins. It brings you to being a student of your prosperity. What will make you prosperous? If you're weighed down by everything, if you're depressed and overwhelmed and taking everything on because of a stiff upper lip and you have to, you're not going to be prosperous. It's not saying that we just crumble, but it is saying that we look at things and we embrace our truth. We embrace being a student of what makes us prosperous, how we move forward, how we can be this vital part to what's important to us, to the family at our root, and the power within our souls. This is a time where new ideas move you forward, where you start looking at things differently, where you connect with the earth in a way that you hadn't. And what this means is that you're sitting in yourself, in your power, and saying, this is what I desire. This is what I want. How can I make this possible? How can I move this forward? And it moves you to embracing you. It moves you to you looking at you in a very open, very honest way, looking at your strength, claiming your strength, and moving towards your goals. So when you embrace your strength, Leo, as, this being the essence of your personality within the major arcana, the essence of yourself, there's a sense of looking that I cannot change anything by force. That's a huge lesson for all Leos. That's a huge lesson whenever the strength card comes up. By force, I cannot get things put back together again. I can't. But if I heal, if I love, if I hold compassion, then I can start to see things turn. Now, they're not going to turn overnight the way that we want them to, but they are going to start to turn towards what we desire within our lives, towards where we need to be, towards what is more and what is good for us. They start to turn towards our truth. And it brings you to the Nine of Swords. It brings you to confronting nightmares, which, nobody ever wants to do. But confronting the nightmares is half the battle. Seeing them and saying, you don't get to rule me anymore. You don't get to paralyze me with fear. It's looking at those nightmares in the same way we look at the hurts and the pains that cut into our hearts and say, no. But we also have to look at why they're there. Why is the fear there? And I think that's not something, it wasn't something I ever asked myself before. Why is the fear there? What am I afraid of? And when I was open with myself and said, well, I'm afraid of making a fool out of myself. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid that this is the dream that I've always had within my heart and that I just can't do it. Well, that's very reasonable, right? And when you look at those fears and you say, okay, I see it. And I claim those fears and I sit in meditation within those fears. How do I move forward from them? What is it that holds me back? Is it just not the right time? Do I have too much on my plate and am I spread so thin that if I try to do something that I really want to do, but it's not right for me, it starts to sour me against it? It's kind of like eating too much of your favorite food. You'll be like, oh, I don't want to eat this anymore. So here, it's like it takes on another responsibility, which might not be something you want in your life anymore. It's like, I want things to calm down. So when things calm down, I can start moving forward in the way that I want to. And by having things calm down, we have to make things calm down. We can't just say, well, on that magical day when everything is in alignment and falls perfectly into place, the power, the prosperity, the bounty will come and I will sit, quietly and just create what I want to create. It doesn't usually work that way. We have to see what's truly important to us, what it is that we desire, what it is that we need, how it is that we want to move forward. And that's what the Nine of Swords is having us look at. It's having us look at the fears. Why are the fears there? And then what do we need to do within our lives to overcome what has paralyzed us? It moves us then to the public arena, crowned by the Queen of Coins, to prosperity and bounty and success, to a place where we're claiming what is the bounty of our truth, the prosperity of our souls. We look at the garden that we're planting, because here, of course, the Queen of Coins is a beautiful tree. So if we look at the prosperity that we're given, and we look at the garden that we're planting within our lives, in some places, like we'll have some areas of that garden be just absolutely breathtaking, beautiful. And the other areas of the garden, oh my gosh, run over with the weeds, just don't look there. So here, it's looking at what it is that you want from your life and from yourself, how it is that you move forward, and where it is that you need to be. You're looking at what you're tending to and what needs to be tended to, how you are embracing your truth and where you are headed. You're taking your prosperity, you're nurturing it, you're adding to it, you're seeing things differently. There's a sense that when people look at you in the public arena, they see somebody who's astoundingly prosperous. Do they see everything that you're going through? No, they do not. Can that be very frustrating? Absolutely, it can. But it's important to know that they see you as a success. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. Keep on embracing your truth, your prosperity, the essence that you want to plant within your life, and keep on moving forward within that existence, within that knowledge. It moves you to the Eight of Swords. Now you have the repeat of the number 8. You will have a tendency during this time, Leo, to take yourself astoundingly seriously, too seriously. You're going to sit there and want everything all lined up, all worked out. If it's not perfect, I can't do it. That's not going to be fair to you. That's actually going to hinder you more than it will ever help. The Eight of Swords is feeling trapped and is feeling overwhelmed. It's looking at your prosperity and saying, but I have a mountain to climb before I can even think of myself as prosperous. It's starting to think of yourself as prosperous. It's starting to think of yourself as healthy. It's starting to think of yourself as a conqueror, as a triumpher, as somebody who wins, instead of somebody who's always fighting and who is just gosh darn tired. The Eight of Swords is that ensnarement. It's that entrapment of the mind. It's saying, I can't, when really we should be saying, I can. And the Eight of Swords is us being overwhelmed by it. And it's in the public arena. So in the public arena, if you have people who start picking at your flaws, if you have people who start pointing out why you shouldn't be able to, the Eight of Swords, it makes you more than inclined to sit there and say, oh, you're right. I see it. I see where you're coming from. I'm being self-aware. And by being self-aware, I'm going to call myself out on everything that I shouldn't be able to do. That's not being self-aware. That's sabotaging yourself. Know your weaknesses, yes. And make sure you kind of set things up so that your weaknesses don't shine through blatantly. But don't sit in your power and say, well, because I have weaknesses, I can't move forward. That's ridiculous. Everybody has weaknesses. If we wait for ourselves to be perfect to achieve our dreams, we'll never get there. And our dreams will never come to pass. And that's not why they were planted within our hearts. The Eight of Swords is seeing that the swords might trap, but they also leave huge spaces between them for you to walk forward through, for you to sit there and say, this is not my life. This is not what I desire. This is where I need to be, not caged, but free. It brings you to the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is divinity handing you a gift that may not seem like a gift at the time. So you might say, well, how do I know? You don't. To be really honest with you, you don't. There are just times where you're going to look back and be like, that was a gift. That was the hardest time of my life. That was a time I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. But it forged me in such a way that I can now withstand so many more storms than I ever could. I'm stronger than I ever was. The Four of Cups is a gift coming to you that doesn't look like a gift. It isn't wrapped up all nice and pretty, but it is the gift of divinity. It's not where you're looking, but it's where you need to be. And it moves you to the Six of Swords. It moves you to gathering up your knowledge, gathering up your understanding, and moving forward. Are the emotional waters choppy? Yes, they are. Is it scary? Absolutely. Does it need to happen? Yes, it does. To embrace our souls, to embrace what we desire, to embrace the way that we move forward in life, we need to come into this power. We need to, again, sit in our truth, because we don't. We're always so busy. We're always so busy sitting there and saying, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. And I know, it's hard just to quiet and just to come into our bodies, embracing our souls, and to say, this is who I am. As we move forward, as we gather our knowledge, as we, embrace our truth, and we move towards something greater than we could ever have thought of before. Let's go deeper. Leo, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. we have the Three of Coins, the Three of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. The repeat of the number 3 means divinity is with you, which we could see within this reading, absolutely. The Four of Coins, the Four of Cups, the Two of Cups. The repeat of the number 4 is saying to embrace ourselves, to be in ourselves, to be present within our bodies, to take care of our bodies and our homes. Judgment, the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Two of Coins. The repeat of the number 2 is this collaboration. It can be between you and spirit. There is this sense of creating something extraordinary during this time. And it can just be creating this pathway within your mind for you to be able to move forward towards something so much more than what you imagined. Now we start off here with the Three of Coins. This is embracing your prosperity as you are the knight of yourself, as you defend what it is that you want, your passion, your fire, your purpose, and as you're looking at what has stifled you, as you're looking at what has been overwhelming, what has held you back. The Three of Coins is looking at everything that you have accomplished and the way that it shines on you and how you move forward. People will try to take credit for what you do. That's fine. Let them try. Stand in your truth. Stand in your power. It brings you then to the Three of Cups. Now, I always see the Three of Cups as the person who stood and celebrated us, but couldn't be by our sides. It was the person who should have celebrated us, who should have been there, but just couldn't. They could do it for the moments where everybody was watching, where they could make a spectacle. It could all be like about them, but it was never about you. For me, the Three of Cups is heartbreak and despair and, looking at things and just being like, why? Why couldn't I have what other people have? Why couldn't I have the relationship, the love, the caring that other people have? And it's heartbreaking because we internalize it and we think there's something wrong with me. There isn't, though. These are part of the scars that you carry deep. And these are the part of the conversations that need to be had. To look at this hurt, to look at this little piece of poison and say, you don't get to ruin me. You just don't. The Seven of Swords is taking up everything that you need and being able to move forward. Will people say that you're sneaky? Absolutely. Will people say that you should have shared more? Sure. Is it any of their business? No, it's not. Our world tends to think that our personal business is everybody's business because that's how we live. It's not right. Take what is yours and move forward. Do not be tricked by others, okay? Do not let yourself fall into old traps, old ensnarements. Move forward, being the knight of your heart, looking at what you love and looking at what you desire. It brings you then to the Four of Coins. For me, the Four of Coins is vampiric energy, okay? It is the people who will take and take and take and never give anything in return. You're being aware of this. This is why you're finding that balance. You're being discerning about the energy you let in, the energy you let out. This is why you are being here with the Page of Pentacles. You're being the student of how it is that you move forward, where it is that you want to be, what it is that you desire. The Four of Coins is looking at the vampiric energy and saying, no, I'm not giving away my power anymore, and I'm not being drained by leeches. And it takes courage to say that. It really does. It brings us to the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is, again, over you right here. You're being given a gift, okay, because it's over the Strength card, which is you in the Major Arcana, Leo. You're being given a gift that you don't see, that isn't clear to you, but it will be, and it's extraordinary. It leads you to the Two of Cups. It leads you to the Minor Arcana, Lover's card, the healing coming in over the nightmares, over the fear. And as we embrace this healing, as we embrace this coming together of love and of truth, there's a judgment to us. There's a rising out of the fire. There's an embrace of what we love and what we desire and where we want to be, and a resurrection of ourselves as we embrace our prosperity and come out of our cage. It brings us to the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords over the Four of Cups. The gift that we don't see embraces us in a way that has us being the warrior queen, okay? Has us taking up our swords, taking up what is most valuably important to us, and saying, I'm cutting down doubts and fears and negativity and anger and upset. I've been trained, okay? The swords take a training to them. You can't just wield them and, have no practice, because you could really hurt yourself. And you wouldn't be much of a threat. But to wield a sword and to stand in its power and to know how to use it, it makes you astoundingly strong, astoundingly powerful. And it changes the course of your future, because there is strength and there is knowledge there. And as you embrace that strength and that knowledge, you embrace the part of you that is the warrior, that is the defender, that is the truth seeker. And it brings you to the Two of Coins. It brings you to being in balance with yourself. It brings you to sitting there and saying, I know that I've been balancing everybody else. I've been doing everything else for everybody else. And the one person I've forgotten is me. Now, as I move forward, as I take my knowledge and my understanding, I move into a new space. I move into the place where, yes, I uphold my responsibilities. I think that's so important. But I also get to be balanced, get to embrace my understanding, get to embrace my truth. Just because I'm taking care of what needs to be taken care of doesn't mean I fall away from me. It moves us to the spirit animal message. Leo, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Fantastic, these three. So we have here the wombat spirit. Be at home. That's what the repeat of the number 4 is saying. Be at home within yourself. Be at home within your soul. Be at home within your space and within your grace. It brings us to the vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. You haven't gone through things by accident. There is truth and there are lessons and there is power here. Nothing is wasted as you move forward in wisdom. Don't look at the past and think, oh, that was so stupid. It shaped you in a profound and deeply meaningful way. It brings you to the rhino spirit. Overcome any obstacles. There is a power to you. You overcome the obstacles set before you. And you stand in this power. You stand in this truth. It brings you to your subconscious spirit animal message, which is the panther spirit. Reclaim your power. I was going to say reclaim your path. And they're both true. Reclaim your power. Reclaim your truth. Reclaim your path forward. It brings you to your subconscious person message, the King of Swords. You are the warrior king. You are the person who claims your throne, knows your power, knows what it is that you desire, and moves in that truth, cutting through doubts and fears, looking at things logically and practically and profoundly. It brings you to your chakra energy, your subconscious chakra energy, which is communication, the throat chakra, communicating to yourself what it is that you want, but also embracing the deeper communication with the world around you, picking up on body language and emotional cues and, this psychic development almost, this sense of looking at the truth behind the person, not just simply what they're presenting forward. It makes communication so much deeper. And it brings you such power, such understanding. People don't communicate like this. So you're going to be very different, and you're going to be picking up on things that others don't want you to know. Don't use it against them. State what you have to say, do what you have to do, right? and keep on moving forward, knowing that they are in their journey where they're supposed to be. This is the throat chakra. Listen to the words, communicate your truth, and keep on moving forward. Your subconscious tarot message is the Emperor. This is Aries energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. But this is force and truth and power and understanding and, a succinctness coming in. You're also working towards, a lot of you Leos are working towards something very big that happens around this time frame. I know it's right after this reading, but you're looking towards something and you're working towards something much more profound than what you realize. And there's a sense of claiming your throne, of claiming your power, of embracing your truth. And it brings you to your subconscious, to go deeper into your subconscious and see the Hangman. You don't see things like everybody else. There's a different point of view that you're taking. It doesn't mean that you're wrong, right? But this also is saying, don't think because it's different that it's right. It's like it has to resonate within your heart, within your soul, within yourself. Don't be swayed by others. There's a difference here. There's a different way that you're moving forward, and there's a beat to your own drum that you need to follow. And just because somebody says something, or just because, people perceive it as not being the way it should be done, it's the way it needs to be done for you. And that is a powerful truth, and that's a powerful way forward. All right, Leo, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move to the beat of our own drums, and as we embrace a profound and well-healing truth. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.